Help us level the playing field. Sign the parliamentary petition today to fuel the growth and fund the game.
Well, a very warm welcome to all of you listening on a very cold Tuesday night in Melbourne. The New Balance Dockerty Cup is back, this time for round 6. It is two giants of Victorian football on display, two historic giants of Victorian football who have got plenty of interchange through both of these clubs' histories. Of course, George Katsakis, among others who have had connections to the great Northcote City. The Bentleigh Greens looking to avenge what was a shock 7-0 loss against Melbourne City on the weekend. Northcote themselves high-flying in VPO1, but also lost to Brunswick Juventus 1-0 on Friday night. It is round 6 of the New Balance Dockerty Cup. One of these sides who win tonight will make it into round 7 and an opportunity to play on the national rounds in the Hahn Australia Cup. Well, as for Northcote City, it was a 7-1 win against the Bentleigh United Cobras last time out, and reflected in that 11 that played a few weeks back. This round will also feature a very, and I mean very, very, very youthful squad, littered with plenty of under-23 products. We'll start off with the captain, who you see in the middle, number 6, Gregory Zacharias, who is captain for tonight as well. Number 7, Lachlan Grundy. Number 11, Austin Yost. Number 25, Zach Appleton. Number 32, Ashton Monteleone. Number 33, Noah Kalamata. Number 34, Ethan Napanatidis. Number 38, Dimitros Panagiotou. Number 39, Edward Oliver. And that will be followed alongside number 66 and more first-team products in VPO1, Emilio Dotario. Number 95, Harry Kasky. As for your Bentleigh Greens, well, it's a rotated 11 from that 7-0 loss. I understand 9 injuries for the Greens, including the likes of Dion Nicolaitis and Mohamed Aidara. Aidara without what we understand to be a long-term injury. Captaining the side still, number 4, Scott Hillier. Number 7, Maki Petratos. Number 9, Dennis Menalau. Number 15, Mario Baldea. Number 16, Sam Grella. Number 20, Ahmed Talib gets a start between the sticks against his former side. Michael Boffey also gets a start against his former side. Number 22, Brando Conte. Number 23, number 25, Kor Deng. Number 26, Jawad Rezai. And number 49, making his starting debut for the Bentleigh Greens, Kazuto Davies, the young Bentleigh Greens player. What an opportunity for him to stake his claim as we welcome you to what is a 10-match marathon in the New Balance Dockerty Cup. I am Neil Simons, who will take you through this action tonight. And what a tantalizing proposition we have with the youthful Northcote City, who have got an abundance of under-23 products in the 11, many of which haven't even stepped foot on the pitch in VPO1. What can they do tonight? Can they cause what will be, you would imagine, one of the upsets of the round? It doesn't appear like that on paper, but from a squad depth perspective, it certainly does fit that description. Here's Conte. Rolling it now to Scott Hillier, the ex-Avondale man, is one of the very few that did get promoted with the Bentleigh Greens, who starts tonight. And we'll bring you into focus. Last time these two sides faced each other, as Maki Petratos looks to break the space in the box, gets a shot away. In fact, it was a cross-come shot. Menalau, another one of the ex-Northcote City players, of course, familial heritage at the club for Dennis Menalau, following his switch to Bulleen Lions a few years ago. 9 goals in 2024. And a massive 10 in 2022 with Northcote in VPO1. He will look to strike against one of his former sides. Boffey, long ball from Hillier. Into the feet of Menalau. Will it sit for Petratos? It won't quite. And it's cleared away by Lachlan Grundy. And now Kor Deng, arriving from Westgate Sindalich, as he gives it away cheaply in the centre circle now. Northcote looking to break away on that right-hand side. One back by Jawad Rezai. Here do come the Greens once more. Iraklis win it back. Bouncing ball, and Hillier just puts that out of harm's way. Panatidis, another one of the Northcote youngsters in the 11 today. Hasn't stepped foot on the pitch this season in VPL 1, but here is Grella with a reverse pass. And it will be into the trusty hands of Noah Kalamata. Not to be confused with the Greek city. There's been a few jokes made across the Northcote socials owing to George Koo and, of course, Peter Katsiris. And he's a good sport about it as well, which is always great. Here's Jawad Rezai on this left-hand flank. He's got options to his left, decides not to use them. A nice bit of interplay from the home side as the ball is swung in to the palms of Noah Kalamata. The ex-standing on Thunderman. Spent a bit of time at Moreland City as well as the Greens mount the press. Appleton with the poor giveaway. Boldea and Kasky will look to run onto this one and put Northcote in an attacking position. Just on halfway now. Rolled square. That's Harry Kasky, number 95, should I say. Number 66 is Emilio Dottario, arriving from Melbourne City. Here's Boffy. Also spent some time at Preston in recent seasons. Here's Rezai. Attempts the forward ball. Well, we did mention that there would be a number of games in the New Balance Dockerty Cup. Not just one, not just two, not just three, 10. And we'll bring all of those results to you tonight, at some point at the very least. Those matches, of course, Goulburn Valley up against the Eastern Lions, Altona East Phoenix up against Heidelberg United, Uni Hill Eagles up against Preston Lions, Bulleen face Port Melbourne. That game kicks off at 7:45, alongside North Sunshine Eagles versus Eltham Redbacks. Williamstown take on George Cross, and St Albans take on Oakley Cannons in one of the only all NPL Victoria clashes for this round. Avondale also take on Brunswick City. With both of those matches, and I cannot believe I'm saying this, are being played at Paisley Park at the exact same time. If you are at the ground, I would like to know how you managed to even get parking. Avondale playing on the main pitch, and Phoenix playing at their home ground as well. The ball is lofted in by Edward Oliver. An opportunity might present itself for Northcote, and the pass from Emilio Dottario was slightly overhit. Aston Monteleone, he's one of the players that did score a couple against the Bentleigh Cobras a few weeks back. I'm sure he'll be put into focus tonight as well. Deng. Hillier. Lofted ball. Interfeet is Appleton. Plays a long ball, but it'll be held very nicely and calmly by Ahmad Taleb. Since leaving Melbourne City, he's had stints at the Victory. Well, he was involved in that A-League men's squad in season 2022-23. An unfortunate year for the Victory in that senior A-League men's team, but nonetheless has a lot of promise as a keeper. There's a great ball over the top for the away side, and it's well dealt with by Khor Deng. Monteleone also did adequately well in that instance, but it was well won by Khor Deng, who wins his side the goal kick. GV Sons Junior, of course, Aston Monteleone. And this is going to appear quite as a intriguing statistic, but he was once a tennis hotshot in 2016, so he was very, very young at the time. And won the ANZ Tennis Hotshots competition. And I believe he was joined in Shanghai by a man by the name of Novak Djokovic. Now, I wonder if Djokovic has kept in touch since and has provided him some much-needed advice ahead of tonight's big Dockerty Cup clash, but nonetheless, all jokes aside, a very big opportunity for the youngster. Thrown in on the far side, Deng does well to hold. Northcote youngsters are holding their own tonight. Max Clark clearly putting first preference towards a promotion campaign. Of course, alongside the 10 Dockerty Cup clashes, league action this weekend to follow for these two sides as well. With the Greens taking on Heidelberg at home. That's a well won by Bentleigh. It will send a task for Petratos. Kalamata able to arrive in time. A really good start to the campaign for Maki Petratos. 7 goals this year in all competitions. Kaski. Rather Datario. Here come Northcote on that far side. Space for Appleton. And the very tame effort en route does arrive eventually. And Zach Appleton is very much one of the standouts. Did score a wonderful, and I mean wonderful, solo effort in round 4 as Petratos looks to potentially bite his way past, should I say, Greg Zacharias and the Northcote City defence. Only 20 years of age is Zach Appleton. Has plenty of promise, does the youngster. Here do come the Bentleigh Greens down that right-hand flank. Sent in and punched away by Kalamata. Kazuto gave his with the cross. And now Conte. Did come off a Northcote player, so it will be a corner. Corner taken quickly and short by the Greens. Oh, and it's just over the head from Cordang. Didn't quite find its intended target. And a bit of miscommunication. Bentleigh does win possession fairly deep. Here's Grella. And leaves the task for Cordang. Formerly of Westgate Sindalich in State League 1 Northwest. Very proud club in their own right. Stepping up 3 tiers to the Channel NPL Men's Victoria is not the easiest task. Mendelau. Now Northcote fairly deep in their defensive halves as they look to progress forward as Boffey able to find it right into the halfway line where Grella was positioned well. Here's Michael Boffey again. This is actually his second stint at the Bentleigh Greens. Had a brief stint in 2023. As a long ball is sent over the top. all too much on that far side. Ko Deng, formerly also of the likes of West Side Strikers, Caroline Springs, as a youngster. Kalamata hops long. The backwards header does arrive, but it was all had too much pace on it from Aston Monteleone. Appleton, ex-Bulleen youngster as well, but it's the majority of his youth career at Northcote City. As the Greens look to build from the back, here is Ko Deng. Long searching ball. Panagiotou interchanging with Kalamata. Under pressure is the youngster and just cheaply gives it away. And now potentially time for Northcote. Here's through Greg Zacharias. Had a lengthy ACL injury which kept him out of action for just about a year. Of course, many will know him from his stint at the Eastern Lions. Oh, that's a really neat move down that right-hand side from Edward Oliver. And now Jawad Rezai will look to play it forward. Kasky. Grundy. VPL1 appearances prior to this season. Formerly of Western United and Port Melbourne. Bentleigh's shape is really paying dividends so far in these opening exchanges, but that's well won by Northcote through Austin Yost. One of the very few first teamers that are in action tonight. Zacharias, lateral ball out towards that left flank. Holding their own 15 minutes in. Tatalio. Kalamata. Zacharias. The triangle completes. Datario. A searching ball for Zachary Appleton, and Ahmed Taleb is going to take no chances. Just waiting to take the throw is Ethan Napalatinas. Attempted to find the intended target. Panagiotou. A nice interchange of passes as Appleton looks to find time. It's almost like pinball in that front third. He's Moldea. He's going to set a task all the way for Noah Kalamata, who comes out of his box with an attempted karate-esque kick. Moldea. It's a really deft touch in the centre circle from Lachlan Grundy. As Kalamata forces himself to go long. Boffy. Now Kasky to find Austin Yost in space, but Ko Deng just cheaply gives it away for a throw. And Iraklis will look to capitalise now. That's a heavy, heavy, heavy touch from Lachlan Grundy. Seems to be a hold-up at the moment as the flag was raised on this near side. Dimitri Panagiotou, another one of the Northcote City youngsters, arrived from Western United. Max Clark, of course, serving in coaching roles at Western United, brought plenty of players across to Northcote. Very youthful 11 it is. Of course, we can go into the likes of players that haven't featured tonight. And we can start with Kieran Brown, Maceo Jones, Mitsiaku, Dean Larson, Liam Nolan, Noah Spaseski, Casper Hallam, Thierry Swaby. Plenty of Northcote players that have been ever present so far in the league, not shown up in the cup in either of the last two fixtures. So it'll be an absolute, dare I say, Herculean effort for them to win tonight. As for Bentleigh, they're also looking to secure their first cup berth since 2023. As a Northcote, Rezai. It's a really nice play from the Bentleigh Greens. Now out wide is Petratos. Checks. Back to Baldea. Now out to this left-hand side is Brando Conte. As Yost is brought to ground, rather should I say Lockie Grundy. And our head referee, Ross Clark, has deemed that to be a foul. The Green, should I say, last featured in the Dockerty Cup. Sorry, should I say Australia Cup, round of 32 in 2022. Of course, a great night here as they face off against Sydney FC. And Jack Riak was one of the scorers that night. Packed out Kingston Heath. Many famous cup nights here in the past. Of course, that win against the Wellington Phoenix does come to mind. Those great teams under John Anastasiadis. Kalamata. It's neatly done by Tatario. Scott Hillier gets front position. Just shows his experience there, really. And now Baldeo, an experienced player in his own right, the Romanian, doing well. As Menalao to play the ball forward, but it was cheaply given away and will be a throw in for Northcote City. Kalamata. Zacharias. Appleton. Bentleigh really beginning to mount the press now, and their defensive shape has really been on cue. Scott Hillier doing an excellent job at marshalling his teammates, putting them in prompt positions to be across the deck. As Boffy is sent to task. Force wide, Petratos tests it down. Can he keep it in play? He can. But well done by Nathan Napolitidis. Boffy. It's back with Michael Boffy. Just on halfway now is Conte, the ex-Kingston City man. There's plenty of experience across various tiers of Victorian football as Core Deng nearly gives it away completely. Grella is stuck out his traps, and Northcote with an opportunity to capitalise, unable to find the requisite passing lanes to feed it in. Neither of these sides really finding the combinations in completeness. As Core Deng throws for Petratos. Tatario is brought to ground. George Katsakis wasn't too happy about that. But I'm sure he was very happy with that final day win last year. 3-1 win against Northcote City in August of 2025. It was double from Cameron Saul and a go-ahead goal from Liam Broxham as they won the league in VPL 1 and secured promotion back to the Channel NPL Men's Victoria. As the offside flag is raised upon that long ball. The long ball directed towards Patratos. And he wins the foul in the end. Appleton scored a hat-trick last time. He featured in the Dockerty Cup, the first half hat-trick. In fact, decent little effort from Northcote man. Only started the 5 games this season across all competitions. And now here is Jawad Rezai with space. Isolated with Panagiotou. Another Panatidis. Boffy. Hillier. Northcote unable to string a few passes together. Struggling to get out of this half, let alone create opportunities. They want to really unlock Kazuto Davies. He's got 3 goals in the 23s this season. Of course, his full senior debut. Zacharias. Deng. Front-footed Grella. Now Menelau on the right. Across the face, Rezai! Oh, what a golden chance. And has skied that ball into the car park. Well, that was an opportunity as golden as you make it, really. They're not too forthcoming, especially in these early stages of this contest, 25 minutes in. Well done by Conte. And well won, especially by Tatario, but Zacharias has given it away. It's Rezai. Petranos! What a save from Kalamata! But Rezai is able to make good on his mistake earlier, and the Greens take the lead. Rezai joins what his teammates will believe it's a confidence booster ahead of the remaining 75 minutes of this New Balance Dockerty Cup clash. And there was a mistake from, ironically enough, one of the more experienced Northcote players, Greg Zacharias. But how about the save from Noah Kalamata to keep it out? Couldn't keep out the second, though. As we are set for a game that Northcote may feel as if they had to chase, as the unorthodox kickoff routine was executed by Harry Kasky. One of those that actually returned to Northcote. 12 starts this season in the league. The New Zealand Youth International as well. Featured alongside South Melbourne's Luca Coveney. Bit of conjecture around that call. Eventually, all too easy for Nathan Palantidis. Menelau getting front position and allows Boldea to strike ahead. Kazuto Davies. It's a delightful ball to Boldea, crossing the byline, and eventually Tatario is able to win it back for Northcote. Appleton. Bentleigh will really feel as this is a big chance to put their foot on the pedal and end the game in the first half. They don't need to waste their time. Palatidis. Combination play from Iraklis. Now Zacharias. Tatario. And Kalamata forces it long. Oh, it's over the head of Kordeng. A chance for Northcote now. This time through Austin Yost, who does really well there. As they force it wide. Cross does come in, and it's well dealt with by the Greens. Here with Deng. Datario. Even Kazuto Davies getting in a bit of strife there. As Petratos comes to head in that false line position. Menelau forced off the ball. Liminal space for the Northcote to create space as they win the free kick on one of the more obtuse angles right next to the sideline and the benches, in fact. Nathan Napanatides, Northcote Junior, was actually playing under 17s last year as well, which is truly, truly remarkable. And was awarded the Rising Star in the Senior Academy. Here comes a chance for Northcote City through Appleton. Weaved in, it's straight into the arms of Ahmad Taleb. Long searching ball for Petratos. He thrives in these positions. 7 versus 7. It's Maki Petratos. Looping ball, and certainly created a bit of a potential area for mistake from Noah Kalamata as Rezai was just looping over the top. Zacharias. That is a misdirected pass if I've seen any. Now Hillier looking to drive. Into feet Petratos. Took a heavy touch. The Kiwi has still ventured up the field. That's really good work from Kazuto Davies. As eventually, it's Noah Kalamata is able to claim. Appleton. Oh, that's delicious play. The two Northcote men in midfield. Appleton still going on that left flank. Interchanging very nicely with Oki Grundy. And how about the work from Mario Baldea? The game just beginning to open up that little bit so far. Kordeng, a bit too lackadaisical upon receipt of possession. Here's Michael Boffey. A long searching ball. Petranos was available. Zacharias is able to recover possession. And Zacharias is in all sorts. Panatidis. Datario. And now down this right-hand side is Edward Oliver. Laterally for Datario. Weaves pass. Forces it left now. Austin Yost. I say Grundy. Rolled square. Appleton heads it down. Datario! Well, it was a very much an auspicious opportunity. But you have to strike those clean as a whistle. However, not sure how much success he was foreseeing in that very ambitious strike en route. Of course, Clark was the Western United under-23s coach for a number of seasons, primarily in the VPL 1 competition, following a stint with South Hobart, where they won the league in NPL Tasmania and also featured in the Australian Championship. He was already announced as Northcote City's incoming head coach for season 2026. And has done a stellar job thus far in the league, as they look to feature in the top flight for the first time since, I believe, 2018. Oh, that was very, very neat from Edward Oliver. He also has had a stint within the A-League youth ranks. Northcote Junior from under-13s returned to the club. Had a stint with Melbourne City and under-15s. He'll have a massive chip on his shoulder. The number 39. Also scored against the Bentleigh United Cobras. 3 goals this season so far in all competitions. It's Core Deng with a strong header away. Datario. Appleton. Oliver. Satario again. Grella providing support. I think he's won the corner, and he has. So now Hercules with a focal opportunity en route, potentially. And Zach Appleton is going to stand over this one with his left foot. Didn't much intent, and still on the byline. Might look to strike first here. He does. And has won his side another corner. Oh, no, he hasn't. It came off a Northcote player. Bit of friendly fire, perhaps. Well, I guess this break in play allows us to look at the other games that are currently taking place in the New Balance Dockerty Cup. 10 games tonight, all of which would have kicked off by now. Preston Lions have a 1-0 lead over Uni Hill Eagles. Eastern Lions up 1-0 against their fellow VPL 2 side Goulburn Valley. Bulleen up 2-0 against Port Melbourne. North Sunshine Eagles up 1-0 against the Eltham Redbacks. Avondale also lead 1-0. Up against Brunswick City. Still 0-0 at Atono East Phoenix up against Heidelberg. That's definitely one to keep an eye on. Of course, Heidelberg did defeat the fellow State League 1 Northwest club in Yarraville in the previous round. 5-0 winners. Zacharias absolutely launches that into Datario. Now here's Boffy. Conte. Drives past halfway, and the intended target was Maki Petratos. And Appleton. Unsuccessful, and the Greens beginning to show their strut a little bit. Here is Core Deng. Back to Hilliard. Actually won the Dockerty Cup in 2021 with the Avengers over Hume City. This is his 4th season with the Bentleigh Greens. Easily one of the longest tenured players at a senior level. As Harry Kasky has time. Here is Zacharias. Datario. Datario. Well, considering there's an abundance of under-23s players currently in the Northcote 11, yeah, showing themselves very strongly, all things considered. Might the opening arrive? It could come here. As we see Grundy in a bit of a tussle on that left flank. Eventually wins the throw. Might they go long here? Might they go short? Where might options present themselves? Yost. The combination play isn't quite on cue there. Iraklis. As Petratos has got the beating on that right-hand side. Drives into the area, and Kalamata forces a great save. And oh, how about that from Dennis Menelau? If you don't mind, off the half volley. Looking to really strike some fear into his former side. His eyes just lit up there and let fly. And you can definitely say that Noah Kalamata has kept his side in this contest so far. Here the Greens have an attempted throw. As Ross Clark says, we'll hold that back and give the Greens a free kick. Oh, Rezai's in here. Can he chip Kalamata? He can! Wowee! Jawad Rezai! A Tuesday night special. And a Tuesday night brace as well. Wow. The free kick routine was superb and the chip was even better. Wowee. What a finish. Doesn't get any better than that. What an impeccable goal. One for the highlight reel. Well, starts like that aren't too forthcoming, but when you can score goals like that, you never know what might come. Ex-Hume City and Altona man. Also Afghanistan international, and with goals like that, you are certainly going to put your name in headlines. And doesn't Northcote City have, ironically enough, Herculean task ahead of them? Especially with a current 2-0 deficit. That's the 7 appearances in the Channel NPL Men's Victoria for Jawad Rezai. A player that you could say has benefited from the injury crisis at the Greens. Yost. Bentleigh player is down. Just take a bit of a moment to breathe and introspect on the first 40 minutes or so. Bentleigh just much sharper in their attacking movements and intent. And certainly it might open up for them here now. Here's Grundy attempting to force a ball across the box. Wins his side to throw. A goal at the break of the half will be very, very beneficial for Northcote City. And instill confidence within these youngsters that see themselves across the park. And I think they might go long here, and they have. Ball sits nicely for Datario. And how about that block from Mario Boldea? Well, Northcote are in a very vulnerable defensive position here. And they have composed themselves diligently well. Now Palatidis And now Palatides nearly lost himself there. Oh, that's great combination play. And it was Dottario looked to play the ball through for Austin Yost. And so too the youngster for the Greens. And Davies has done diligently well as well. As all Greg Zacharias can do was set that out of harm's way for a corner. Corner rolled short. Petrados lofted ball, back post header. Was forthcoming from Scott Hillier. Can Northcote counter here? They go backwards. Monteleone. Dottario. And they can't just quite find combination play past halfway just yet. Dottario. I think Northcote will be happy with this score to be 2-0 going into the Sheds on the current state of play. And I have to say, for all intents and purposes, they've held a very good account of themselves. And the Greens, this will be a much-needed confidence booster after that 7-0 drubbing on Friday night. Medin Mehmeti with not just one, 4 goals, if you like. As now they begin to play the ball forward to Northcote, but cheaply give it away. Again, it's that man, Jawad Rezai, attempting to impose his influence now. As Davies with the flat-footed cross. Will be a Northcote City throw. In the Luke Radzminski end. See him in the fluoro on that left-hand side. Michael Boffey is incensed here on this near side. Really demanding more from his Bentleigh Greens players. And I think if you're Bentleigh Greens, you would not be happy with this 2-0 scoreline. I think reflective in the fact that they're essentially playing an under-23 side for all intents and purposes. Aside from, you'd say, Zach Appleton, Austin Yost, Lockie Grundy, not many of them have received, if any, first-team football this season, aside from these few Dockerty Cup matches so far that they've played in. Here's Michael Boffey as we approach 45 now. We don't have a substitution board, though, that can signal us how many minutes. In fact, maybe we do, but not needed, as the 45 has subsided with a double from Jawad Rezai. The first was bundled home. The second was anything but a delightful chip over the head of Noah Kalamata as we head into the Sheds. Bentleigh Greens 2, Northcote City 0. Welcome back to this round 7 of round 6, should I say? New Balance Dockerty Cup. Got ahead of myself. Fixture between the Bentleigh Greens and Northcote City. 2 goals from Jawad Rezai in the first half is where proceedings are at the moment. We will be taking you through the myriad of fixtures. There's just a few games tonight. Just a casual 10. And we'll bring you all those results now, at least if I can even think to say all of them. As, of course, the trusty apps, only as helpful as they can be. Avondale up 3-0 against Brunswick City at half-time. Altona Phoenix is 0-0 against Heidelberg United. Keep your eye on that one. Unihill Eagles trailing 1-0 to Preston. Bulleen Lions are up 3-0 against Port Melbourne. Gulpen Valley, should I say. Down 1-0 against the Eastern Lions. North Sunshine Eagles are currently locked at 2-2 with the Elpham Redbacks. And Williamstown are up 1-0 against Caroline Springs George Cross. St Albans currently 0-0 with the Oakley Cannons. A big second half for these young Northcote City players. George Katsakis having a very stern chat to Ross Clark on the way back to his hub. As we do have a change at half-time as well for Northcote City. Offcoming is Aston Monteleone. And oncoming is Mitch Siaku. Did feature in the previous match against the Bentleigh United Cobras. Did Mitch Siaku. And he has a golden opportunity, does the number 45. One of the myriad of Northcote City youngsters. 2 goals this season in the under-23s. And also in a 5-1 win against Brunswick Juventus. Scored his only 2 goals for the season in that game. So he's in some goal-scoring form. Can Mitch Siaku provide the goods? As Northcote on the charge on his left-hand side now. Lachlan Grundy. Gregory Zacharias. At the base of midfield. Oh, that's a very neat ball for Yost. Now to Grundy across the box. He goes. The strike en route. Palmed away by Taleb. And, if Mitch Siaku was in that position to receive, he would have been in an offside position. But already in the first minute of the second half, we've seen more goalmouth action from Northcote than we've probably seen in this entire first half. Menelau heads on. Petratos. Now, Kazuto Davies. His full senior debut did come off the bench against Banyul. And that one will win a few weeks ago was the Tatario. That was a great intended ball. It was at least to Edward Oliver. It would have been through there if it paid off. Emilio Tatario returning to Northcote this season. I remind you. Should I not say returning to Northcote, returning to VPL 1. Rather, he's actually a Sunbury United junior. Petratos receives in space. He's known for spectaculars. Can he provide again? And Kalamata was able to get his palms ahead. Back to goal is Austin Yost. Tatario, he's really dictating things at the base of midfield. And task set for Zach Appleton. However, his touch was too heavy. Hopefully some potential extra time action as well in the New Balance Dockerty Cup. As Lockie Grundy is going to throw this one in. Just on this near side. Scott Hillier is going to take his time. Played all the way back to Ahmed Taleb. Oliver looking to provide some pressure. But the trusty keeper is able to find that away. Panatidis. Tatario. And now Panatides is not going to win the throw for Northcote City. Calls for a tug of the shirt on, I think that might have been Jawad Rezai. Waved away. Boldea. And now Menelau looking to set a journey for Maki Petrados. Kalamata taking no chances and taking no prisoners. And we see Zacharias. Kasky. It's about composure and retaining this current buffer that they have. Plenty of artillery on the bench for Bentleigh as well. A lot of first-team products in amongst the action. Oliver laterally does find Lockie Grundy. And now Dotario with the searching ball for Austin Yost. Now Petrados. It was held. Oh, that's a miscue from young Kazuto Davies. Dotario. The 1-2 executed fairly well. As now we do see Nathan Napalatides bombing forward on that right flank. Dotario. Here's Harry Kasky. He's the one who's returned to Northcote after a long time away from John Cain Memorial Park. As the diag is intercepted by Brando Conte. Iraklis on the march. But Ahmed Talib is going to take control of possession here. Well, if Northcote are able to get one back, it would certainly put this game in an intriguing spot. As the backwards header, I don't think was quite intended from Dimitros Panagiotou, the Western United youth product. Let's see Kalamata. Grundy heads on. Cordeng is going to attempt to put that out of harm's way, but Austin Yost is going to play it laterally to Grundy. And it wasn't quite executed from Edward Oliver in the way that he would have intended, the sliding challenge. Now Palatides did well. And Kasky has got the runnings here. Does Harry Kasky. Checks. Space for Grundy! Oh! Fizzed into the palms of Ahmed Talib. And a really good first 6 minutes for Iraklis. And great work on the edge of the area from Harry Kasky as well. As it might feel as if they've got a bit of momentum. As we open the second stanza, Zacharias. You just wonder what Max Clark would have said in the sheds. I guess by virtue of comparison to George Katsakis. A long searching ball. And Njoku, the substitute, tried to get away, bypassing Scott Hillier. Kasky. Here's Harry Kasky. Grundy looking inwards, and there's space for Yost on his right. Now to Appleton, breaking the space. Zach Appleton, he's won his side a corner. Deflected off a Greens defender. And Hercules showing a bit of fight. They aren't relenting in their pursuit. think it is Emilio Dottario who's standing over this one. Oh, launched towards the back post. I don't think it was quite intended in that spot. Now Palatidis, was he brought down? But the Greens, it's a 3-on-3 here. They have got the running of these two sides. Bentleigh, Maki Petratos was there, but pass was misdirected. Kaski. Oh, and a line-splitting pass. Gioku was onside. I think he was. In fact, I am not an assistant referee because I was incorrect there. Certainly looked as if he was in an advantageous position. Wasn't to be, however. Thought he might have just bypassed the offside trap from the Greens, but not to be. Ahmed Taleb. Michael Boffey. Sent long. Zacharias. Grundy. Oh, he did immaculately well there. Did Lockie Grundy and Oliver. Unable to bypass the trailing legs of Mario Baldea, the Romanian import. Formerly of Uniera Alba in the third tier of Romania. I wonder how George Katsakis and his coaching staff found him. Kontangalakis, of course, involved as well within the Bentleigh Green setup. Think of the amount of coaching pedigree those two men have. Katsakis, many a time a silverware gainer across the competition. Yost tried his luck on that attempt. And you have to say, Northcote City are very much on top here. They just don't have the goal to show. Dottario. Sort of eerily similar to when Pasco Vale, of course, them a VPL2 side last season, took on South Melbourne's fully fledged starting 11. It's eerily reminiscent of that. Harry Kaski, lateral ball, good touch from Appleton upon first inspection. Upon second inspection, it wasn't quite. Kalamata's distribution has to be inch perfect. I don't think it was on that occasion. And now Menelau. Well dealt with by Zacharias. Kalamata. Northcote on the march here. Looking to build from left to right as they nearly cross past halfway. And that is a really poor giveaway from Nathan Napolitidis. Well, we're approaching 60 minutes. Maybe that's a chance to look at the scores. Goulburn Valley have equalised against the Eastern Lions. Still 0-0 at Atota Phoenix Heidelberg. That is one to keep your eyes on. As I think Emilio Dottario needed a bit of pickle juice. Perhaps just cramping up a little bit as Northcote restart play. Should I say the Greens? Ahmed Taleb. Michael Boffey. Liminal space to work with on that left-hand side, but did superbly well. And now Rezai, who's on a hat-trick, plays the outside of the foot pass towards Maki Petratos. We're at the former Newcastle Jets who actually conceded the throw. Of course, his brother, Dimitri Petratos, currently in India. Of course, his other brother, Costa Petratos, also involved within the footballing sphere. Had a really, really good season with Sutherland Sharks last year. 9 goals in the NPL New South Wales. His second stint to Victoria. Spent just about half a season with Heidelberg in 2022 under George Katsakis. or potential high boot call against Sam Grella. He receives it again inside the box here. Cuts it across the face, and that's a... Oh, dearie me, Harry Caskey. You don't want to slip in those vital positions. Sam Grella. Not quite. As we'll have a double change for the Bentleigh Greens. Offcoming is Kazuto Davies. Oncoming will be Keiji Kajiyama. I think there's actually going to be a triple change. Anthony Lynn is also going to make his way onto the park. And so too is Ismail Haji. So striking options across the park available for the Bentleigh Greens. Deng. Of course, Ismail Haji, some needed first team minutes for him. It's been very much in and out of this Bentleigh Greens side. As for Anthony Lynn, did score that last-minute equaliser against Preston a few weeks back. The young Englishman with a point to prove tonight. Might we see his first introduction as Reza is going to keep that in, get the cross away. Oh, it between the legs of, I believe, Dimitros Panagiotou. And Northcote can spare their blushes just about. Ahmed Taleb is in a position to force it wide. Ismail Haji holding the shirt very staunchly of Lockie Grundy and Natatario. And the Somalian international Haji has won it back at the base of midfield now. He looks to play it wide. Now Palatid is doing well. Gioku plays it back. And a task set for Oliver. But Michael Boffey did really, really well here. Oh, in fact, he's brought to ground Oliver and has awarded the free kick. Well, he's lucky that wasn't inside the 18-yard box. But Michael Boffey probably gives away an errant foul. One that definitely could have been avoided. Heidelberg United have also taken the lead against Altona East Phoenix. However, as we approach the second half, it was Williamstown who might hold the keys to the cup set tonight. Up 1-0 against Caroline Springs George Cross. As for Northcote City, a free kick right on the byline. Doesn't get more direct than this, really. Quite the acute angle. As Ross Clark is going to get proceedings underway. It is, oh, wow, that dipped. And just whisked away from the goal there. I think that might have been Zach Appleton on that set piece. Looked to pierce the top left corner. Wasn't successful in doing so, however. And just seeing the goal here from Williamstown, a crazy, crazy mistake. I think it just deflects off the Williamstown player. I think it's Aaron Sibia who gets him behind and opens the scoring. And what might be the biggest cup set we've seen of the New Balance Dockerty Cup so far. Anthony Lynn. Menelau, first time touch, is immaculate, and Razaz was even better. As he looks to twirl onto his right. Neat footwork from the Afghan international. Looks wide. Haji. And Scott Hillier is going to have to chase this one. It's not going out. And look at how they retain their shape, the Bentleigh Greens. Esteemed professionals. Ahmed Taleb. Now with Hillier. Deng. Oh, he's done really well to bypass the press and will stride into midfield and play a delightful crossfield ball towards Jawad Rezai, whose touch wasn't quite on cue. Northcote living dangerously here as they look to arise from this 2-0 deficit. Appleton. Well, that's just immaculate work from Mario Boldea. And the bounce is perfect for Menelau. Now Hadji. Scott Cording for support on the right. Crosses fashion in towards the back post. Jawad Rezai, can he break it towards the byline? He can. And the header fortuitously is able to break clear for Northcote as they do win the free kick. Half time as Williamstown go into the break. And Preston have a red card against Uni Hill Eagles. So they're going to be fighting tooth and nail for progression to round 7. Of course, they've never featured in the Australia Cup round of 32 in their history. It's always been a bugbear of the clubs to never make it to the national stage. Tatario. Incredibly deep here. Zacharias. Might sit nicely. Joko. He breaks into the space. And the shot does arrive! Oh, it just is away from the goal. Took a deflection on the way through, though. I think the strike was, in fact, from the substitute Mitch Siaku. And they win themselves a corner. And Zach Appleton will be the one to take. His deliveries have been a bit hit and miss so far this evening. Although this one he has to get inch perfect. Forced in low. A second bite of the cherry to arise. Or might he go himself? Fashion towards the back post. No players in pursuit. Hadji just says, you know what? I'm going to head this out of play for a corner. And so, poor old Zach Appleton might have to go all the way towards the other side. I think it actually might be Harry Caskey to take. The Kiwi Youth International to take this one. A goal would do wonders for Hercules and would all but certainly shift the balance of play. Caskey swings it in. Taleb comes out to palm it clear. And Boffy, well, the intended target was Hadji, but Jawad Rezai is a man on a mission. A hat-trick in the offing. Decides to play it laterally towards Menelau. A statement goal for him against his former side in the offing. As oh my word! The mistimed header hit the crossbar, and Hadji has made it 3. Oh my goodness, that is one of the most outrageous ways you can score a goal in this competition. It seemed as if Kalamata had it all contained, but Ismail Hadji is able to essentially fire it upon an empty net. Oh, peculiar. How peculiar. And the Bentleigh Greens are about to push their ticket to round 7, as we will see the artillery arrive for Northcote by virtue of a triple change. Off-coming is Caskey, Tatario, Nicholas Apostolopoulos, Taz Lansanovsky, I think, have made their introductions. And we'll tell you about those players' stories very soon. So Latanovsky and Apostolopoulos have made their way onto the pitch now. Apostolopoulos, another Wadding City and Northcote Junior, 2 goals in 11 games so far this season. Could he turn provider tonight? What would be very much consolation at this point. Although these Northcote youngsters, you never know. Dockerty Cup can be a very intriguing competition to observe across time. And Lantanovsky as well making his way onto the park too. Lynn. Zacharias. Oh, it didn't really go their way, has it, Northcote City? I had the better of them in the first 15 minutes or so, but it sort of has just come by the wayside, unfortunately, for them in the last 5 minutes or so, as Apostolopoulos had time. Searching ball is headed away by Boffey. Now Rezai. I'm sure he still wants his hat-trick, though. His first 2 goals of the campaign. Boldea. Kajiyama. Taleb has to be inch perfect with his distribution, and has done. At least getting the ball clear is a good first opportunity. Yost. Swarmed by green shirts, and well, I'm not surprised as to that outcome. Apostolopoulos did start that game against Bentleigh United Cobras. Taz Zlatkanovsky did score in that game. 71st minute goal. 3 goals for him this season so far. As we see him on the ball now. Zlatanovsky. Space for Iraklis. Grundy, backwards header, does arrive, but it was very tame. Zlatanovsky hunting him down with much intent. And Zacharias heads. And so too making his introduction for Northcote City on that right-hand side. And number 88, Chris Badawi. Did feature in that Bentleigh United Cobras game. Off the bench, however. Apostolopoulos. Badawi. That ball overhit. Hadji. Apostolopoulos. Heidelberg up 2-0 against Altona East. Bulleen up 3-0 against Port Melbourne. Grundy. Zlatanovsky. Unsuccessful in that pursuit. Kajiyama had space. Now Zacharias making his name in midfield now, for at least for a brief moment. Badawi. Seems as if the Greens players are just everywhere. A high press has been enforced, and who can really blame them? As all Northcote players can do is really drive at this point and see if they can drive their way towards at least one goal, which would certainly provide them with much due success. Luke Oresti is going to make his introduction. Mario Baldea making way. Oresti, of course, formerly of Melbourne City and the Central Coast Mariners, and did feature in the Australia Cup in 2022 for Melbourne City against Newcastle Olympic away from home. And in fact, that has been changed. Baldea will not make his way off the park. Jawad Rezai will not secure his hat-trick, so he's going to come off as well. Kalamata. Zacharias. Panagiotou. Long searching ball. It's a very nice pass. Vatanovsky was offside though. Not much to say by way of goal updates or score updates. As the Greens are most likely to book their ticket to the next round. Round 7 draw will be released tomorrow. Check out the Football Victoria YouTube channel for that resulting draw. Yost. Forced infield. Kalamata has limited time to make a decision, but made the right one. As we see Greg Zacharias. Long ball over the top. Boffey and his centre half partner in Hillier were in position. Baldea. Oh, exquisite work from the Romanian. And you just notice that Michael Boffey claps his hands before he receives the ball. A very unorthodox approach, but I don't mind it. He's done that twice tonight, I think. It's very difficult to coordinate yourself between your hands and your feet as well. So, all credit to him as Yost wins it back here in a tantalising position for Northcote. Now Lynn, back to goal, formerly of Leamington in the National League North. That's a bullet pass from Kajiyama. One of the best you'll see all night. Oresti. Oh, delightful pass, although Haji was offside. Here's Kalamata. As now we see Rezai make his way towards his near side. His second goal was quite the finish. Takes a lot of poise and attacking intuition to do that. Kalamata almost masquerading as a sweeper keeper, as he doesn't really find a direct route out of harm's way, as Bentleigh have trapped him in their own halves, really. A long ball over the top again, doesn't quite find its intended target. I think Northcote are really succumbing to experience. It's pretty obvious, but nonetheless, it is the truth. The brighter horizons you would expect from these Northcote players. Been quite impressed with the performance from Edward Oliver in attack. Looks to be a tidy player. As Haji finds space. Oh, and that whisk past everyone within the box for the Bentleigh Greens as they're able to win themselves a corner. Don't know how it didn't find a direct route to goal. Dimitri Relos set to come on now for Mario Baldea. So, my apologies. Jack McKernan. 8 starts in the 23s. This is his Bentleigh Greens debut. Eight starts in the 23s. And McKernan, with his first touch in senior football, wins himself a corner. Started on the weekend in a 2-1 win for Bentleigh Greens under-23s against Melbourne City. And as a senior call-up tonight for the second time this season. Ball fizzed in. McKernan does well. And now Conte. Northcote looking to play out of the back and really subdued under pressure. And that is tidy work from Luke Oresti, who wins the free kick for the Greens. And the change for Northcote. Off-coming is Austin Yost. Oncoming is Lucas Sililo. For Iraklis. A set piece from the Bentleigh Greens toward the back post is Deng, hits the post and bundled in by Dennis Menelau, but he will not be granted a goal against his former side, for he is offside. And he's incensed. He's like, oh, I wanted to get one over my former team. He's not too happy with that. Grundy as well. Lucas Sililo, he didn't feature in the game against Bentleigh United Cobras a few weeks back. Integral opportunity for him to impose himself in an influential manner, as they do win themselves a corner, do Northcote City. And that's actually been waved away. Lucas Sililo also featured in the state championships in 2022. Only 17 years of age, Lucas Sililo. Featured in the under-17s as well for Northcote last season. Also a man from GB Suns. Speaking of Goulburn Valley Suns, they're now up 2-1 against the Eastern Lions. Oakley Cannons have also taken the lead against St Albans Dynamo. There's a potential break here for Northcote, but Zlatanovsky couldn't quite find the right time and space. And a foot race on this right-hand side as Deng is able to find space, twirling onto his left. Ross Clark says no penalty. Kor Deng is not too happy, just throwing up his hands in frustration. Grundy, now Haji. Lynn. Hillier, Taleb. A valiant effort shown by Northcote City But for the Greens, you cannot discount the quality they have across the park. It's an incredible task for them to go to a dark, dark place. 7-0 loss, derided in the media. Many questioning as to how they would put themselves in such a position. But they have really proved all the doubters wrong after what has been probably the easiest of 3-0 victories, as North Sunshine have taken the lead against the Alpha Redbacks. 3-2 at Larissa Reserve. And now Deng. Going wide. Here at Kliss. Hillier heads clear. Nice bit of play from Mitch Siaku. Well, as Northcote seek to mount the charge in their VPL1 campaign. Oh, that's a very high boot from Lockie Grundy. Has to be very cautious there. He was very, very lucky to not actually had a boot to the face. A debutant in Jack McKernan. In pursuit of VPL1, Northcote face off against FC Bulleen Lions on Friday night at John Cain Memorial Park. Currently 1 point clear of second place Melbourne Knights. That will be a very tantalising title race. Only 5 points separating Bulleen, who are in 5th, and Northcote in 1st. McKernan has shown influence early. Hadji. Now Hillier. Boffy clapping his hands again. We love a supportive teammate. As, well, Eurocliss win themselves time and space in possession. Oh, that is a wild challenge. Oh, poor old Mitch Siaku. Welcome to senior football. Wowee. That is a challenge of all sorts. Completely cleaned him up. And if that isn't the introduction to senior football, then I don't know what is, really. He's all okay, though. Good on him. Back underway now is Brando Conte. Lynn, Oresti, in the centre circle. He's got options to his left and to his right. And Northcote with time and space to play. Oliver, Zlatanovsky, and Hillier just with all the poise and the experience. As Lynn chests it down, Oresti. Bentleigh on for a third in this second half. Rather a fourth, should I say. Oresti. Hadji. The outside of the foot pass. McKernan. Boffy. Of course, the new finals format. 5 clubs allocated to the plot. The playoff to make the Hahn Australia Cup round of 32 will be the first capsule draw against the second capsule in the playoff to make the round of 32, and that playoff winner will advance to the New Balance Dockerty Cup semi-finals and the Hahn Australia Cup as well. Bentleigh Greens will be one of those teams who will have an opportunity to make it into the Hahn Australia Cup. Just one more win after this one, and they will more or less book their place into at least that semi-final draw. The playoff isn't quite away in its intention, despite South Melbourne, of course, securing the elusive round of 32 spot, as Oresti now has time and space to shoot. Whisked away, as we do see now. Badawi, rather should I say Zlatanovsky, as Deng, on a stroke of 90 minutes, is going to look to cross one in. Now McKernan, laterally Kajiyama. The full complement for Northcote will likely arrive on Friday night against Bulleen. That promises to be an absolute blockbuster in VPL 1. Laterally is Kordeng. Menelau. Advancing cross towards the back post. Anthony Lynn unable to bring it down. 2 minutes of added time. And as we approach the full 90, we will also bring you the final score update around the grounds. As Preston will look to hold out 1-0 winners against Union Hill Eagles. They defeated Keilor Park in extra time last time. They'll look to avoid a similar outcome tonight. Colburn Valley up 2-1 against Eastern Lions. And of course, with the match earlier in the night, Brunswick Juventus up against Box Hill United. That game's gone to extra time. Still 0-0. So it will be intriguing to see as to how that might shape up. But it was a double from Jawad Rezai, which really put this game beyond reasonable doubt for Northcote City. And following a bizarre moment in the mixer, and George Cross have equalised against Williamstown. As the ball is lofted towards the back post, Northcote will win themselves a corner. This will be their final opportunity to derive anything from this contest. And, in fact, Nathan Panatidis has decided to retrieve the ball from basically beyond the fence. The final act in what has been a stress-free evening for the Bentleigh Greens. Lofted in towards the back post. That is full time here at Kingston Heath. A tidy victory from the Bentleigh Greens as a rotated Northcote City succumb to the youngsters. That Bentleigh Greens are able to force out tonight. Nonetheless, it was an opportunity for many players under the age required to play senior football. Plenty of 16, 17 and 18-year-olds featuring for Northcote tonight, many of which currently plying their trade in the under-23s and under-20 competition. It was a Herculean effort from those players to only keep it at a 3-0 deficit, but nonetheless, Northcote bow out of the New Balance Dockerty Cup. The Bentleigh Greens, one more win to go till they make the round of 32 potentially. As for Northcote, all eyes on VPL 1 promotion. I've been Neil Simons. It's been a pleasure to have your company tonight. Thank you and good night.